How to improve work-life balance for employees. Man, good for you. That's what we're gonna hit. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, partners, the world changes. All right, so if you're looking to improve the work-life balance for your employees, hot damn. Good for you, you're forward thinking, and what this is gonna do and the impact it's gonna have on your organization is gonna be far greater than you can ever imagine. So I've worked with leadership teams and organizations for the last 10 years all over the world. And we actually just finished doing this program, lifeon-yourterms.com, with an entire organization, specifically focused on helping people look at this. But let's hit real quick, why is this important? Well, specifically if you've got younger kids, millennials and Gen Z's kids, I'm 56, so I say kids, but helping identify and understand that, and then acting as a champion for them to find that healthy work-life integration, spectacular. In most cases, we haven't been taught how to have any sort of healthy work-life balance. Work-life balance is really challenging. I think it's bunk, but I think a healthy work-life integration is possible. And if you can become the champion for that, for somebody to be living the dream life that they want, those are going to become the most powerful, strong employees that will just, what you can get from them is just absolutely amazing. Plus, it's going to attract other talent. It's going to attract other people in great ways. So we're going to go through the specifics on how you do this. The first step is, as the owner or HR lead or whoever's setting this up, the first thing is we have to have complete buy-in from the C-suite, from the senior leaders, and you've got to create the safe space. I know that sounds a little on the touchy-feely woo-woo side, but it's true. You do. If people don't feel like they can trust to say, yeah, I'd like to do this, and it's kind of at odds with what's ideal for the business, but I'm willing to work harder for the business in these other areas, fantastic. In some cases, you may have employees that say, I'd really like to change careers and it's not here. If you can be their champion for that, what happens is that'll go through the whole organization, and people will hear that you're doing the right thing for the employees. It's going to start to attract the best possible talent you've ever seen. And I've seen this over and over and over and over again. So first is making sure that you have buy-in and you create that safe space where people can talk about it. The second is then I want you to go through and be curious and try and understand where people are coming from. Now, you may be the kind of person, I'm an old guy, I'm 56, I am used to working 80-hour weeks. I like that, I enjoy it, but there's a lot who don't. So rather than saying, well, that isn't how we do things here, or no, we don't do that, no, say, embrace that spirit of curiosity. Help me understand what your thinking is. What is the thought process behind there? And being open with it. Now, we're going to get into some very specific tools that you can use, and we'll hit those here in a second. But as you become curious, it's going to start to say, okay, that's also going to set the table. It's going to start modeling the behaviors you're looking for, as well as it's going to start to set the table for trust. People are like, okay, I'm not getting shot down. Other people will see this. We do a lot of group coaching. I've got a whole team of coaches that can help with this. It is amazing the impact that alone starts to have. Now, the next thing that I'm going to suggest, and this is very mechanical, but to do an assessment. I've helped with companies all over where we're literally in the strategic end of things. We've scaled companies from entrepreneurial all the way to billion-dollar market caps. But every organization, individual, team, couple goes through one of four phases: stabilize, visualize, strategize, and execute. And to stabilize that initial setup, we have to make sure that we're understanding where we are. So how do we do that assessment? So if you go to lifeon-yourterms.com, this is the book, but you go to lifeon-yourterms.com, go about halfway down the page, and you can send this link out to all your staff, completely cool with it. When you go there, it's going to take about 7 minutes to do this assessment. And then you're going to get immediate results, just like that. And the results are going to come up in what we call the balance wheel. So the tool about halfway down is called the balance wheel. And it's made up of 4 different quadrants. Those 4 quadrants are going to help us to start defining what does what does balance look like for our employees? And where are we at? Do we have any commonalities, some themes? And then if you bring these together and collate them, you're like, maybe we've got some issues there. So, but stepping back, the 4 quadrants of the balance wheel, the number one, or first one, is our relationships. It's going to be with our partner or spouse, our friends, and our family. How are we looking at that? The second component then is going to be how are we doing with our health, our physical, our mental, and our spiritual. Those 3 things, the impact that those 3 things can have on the workplace is massive, but we avoid them. Then you're going to look at how do people feel about their resources, their time, most valuable asset, our treasure, our money and stuff, and then also our talent. How are we feeling with our intelligence? Are we where we want to be? Do we want more training? Where those things are. And then lastly is going to be the job, the more of our professional life. And that's going to be the environment, our compensation, and our job satisfaction. Now, when you do this, understanding that I've got people from Gallup to help me write these. They're specifically written with the intention of being ambiguous, and you know the word, so that people can answer the questions in their perspective. So there's no right or wrong answers, but it gives you the ability to start understanding what are people's perceptions. Where are they coming from and what is it starting like? What does it look like to start with? This is going to give you an immense amount of power. If you can get these and then get snapshots of these, even if they're anonymous, if you go through and realize that, wow, everybody feels like they don't have enough time. Okay, that's going to give you the ability to start having one small thing that you can start improving to help people with their time. What is it that we can run? Is there a program? Is there something different we can look at? Can we do an assessment of all the meetings we have? I've worked with companies that have their death by meetings. Oh my God, it's insane. Maybe we can figure those things out. Maybe people are like, I really am not happy with my health. Not happy with where it is. Okay, fair enough. What are you doing about it? How can we help? How can you, this is important, how can you as the organization transition to becoming their champions in these areas that may not appear to have anything to do with business? But when you do this, you're going to get them more and more and more engaged. So maybe it's as detailed as setting up a gym at your work facility, or maybe it means that, hey, let's figure out, hey, these are some half marathons and we're going to have a coach that we can bring in to help anybody who wants to do it. Anybody can walk a half marathon if they have enough time. How can you start gathering those things together? Now, in some cases, you may be able to work with individuals. A senior CEO may work with his leadership team on this. Leadership team may work with each of their direct reports, and so on. But this is going to help you to start creating better and better employees. So once you do that, another easy thing that you can do is set up accountability partners within the organization. They don't necessarily even have friends, but set up, hey, what are the 2 or 3 things you're looking to do? We've defined where we are. What are 2 or 3 things that you'd like to improve? Cool. And then how are you doing that? And then how are you measuring it? How can you track those? And set up an accountability partner. And I like to say usually 3 people in an accountability group, because at least two always show up. A lot of times all 3, but if you have one that isn't active, that can sabotage quite a bit. So having 3 people in those accountability groups, and that's going to help improve those things. What are those areas that you're working on? And somebody may be saying, look, I want to have more quality time with my kid. Somebody else may be saying, yeah, I need to be eating healthier. Okay. Somebody else may be saying, yeah, I got to quit watching TikToks late at night and go to bed earlier, put my phone in the other room. Fair enough. Whatever it is, that's great. But you can have this, and then people start to have that accountability component, and that's going to help. So the last thing that I'm going to suggest is that, so once people start, you've created some sort of assessment of where we are, you're looking at small ways you can improve, then the next step is you can go as far as actually helping people visualize what would amazing look like. And this may even come from the senior leader or the HR team to define what it is based on the assessments from everybody else, and then start looking at what can we as a team start to do to improve that employee balance. So if you found value in this and you have interest, again, you can go to our website, lifeon-yourterms.com, We have a full course set up, and we actually have coaching certificates if you're an HR person, you're looking to get certified. But the courses we have, it's a video supplements that have a ton of videos that actually address each component of the balance wheel, will help you achieve all sorts of wonderful spots there. But please subscribe to this, and if you have questions or comments, leave them below. Keep smiling.